Rashi Rice is maybe facing a suspension. Xavier Worthy is not moving at all in ADP. That and much more in the lobbies over on Underdog Fantasy today, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be drafting for potentially $200,000. We are also going to be hopping into a fast draft a little bit later on this program. Promo code Davis will get you a deposit bonus there. Link to that is in the description. Link to that is also pinned in the chat. Hope that you guys are all having a phenomenal day. I'm having a nice time over here. Hope that you guys have been enjoying the pre-recorded videos on the channel. Did one on the tight ends, have one coming out Saturday, noon Eastern, with Matthew Betts from the Fantasy Football Ballers. We talked about some of our favorite day 2 wide receivers. We got our trusty sidekick loaded up here. Have DraftKings, brand new DraftKings rankings up on the Patreon. There will be underdog rankings updated there tonight. Also had the uploaded the tight end slap model. How about that? How about the old tight end slap model? Didn't think it was possible, but I was very happy to learn that it was actually very possible to model tight end performance. And we're going to be drafting out of the 3-hole in this draft, which means that we are going to be starting with Jahmyr Gibbs. So we are going to be getting to do probably a little bit of a hero running back build. GM to everyone, GM to Nick. Oh, no, I guess not. I guess maybe we'll do, wow, Puka at 3. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're going to take that all day. Ooh, yes. Hope folks are dual streaming the USA versus Canada gold medal. GM, that's women's hockey today, right? And then the men's semifinal is tomorrow. Hell yeah. Have you guys been locked into the Winter Olympics? I gotta be honest. This is probably the lowest quotient of Winter Olympics that I've watched in my life due to the confluence of having a young child and also, doing fantasy football content for a living. But I've kept up as much as I can. I watched Michaela Schifrin win her gold medal. I watched Lindsey Vonn go roaming off of a mountain. But by and large, my Winter Olympics intake has been a little bit lighter than I would have wanted it to be. But we've actually been given a little bit of a gift here, getting Puka, because if you look at the way ADP goes, we are probably, well, I was going to say, we're actually just missing on Jeremiah Love by just a smidgen. Getting Puka and Jeremiah Love together would be a very unique combination. Yeah, I mean, the women's hockey has been very cool. It's just, to me, I'll tell you this, and this is maybe this is a woke lib opinion, but I actually always love when our collective consciousness starts to get a little bit more into women's sports, because that means that there's another thing to gamble on. There's another thing that we might get DFS for. Like when the Women's World Cup happened and the Women's World Cup had DFS on DraftKings, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm locked in. I'm locked into the Women's World Cup because that's fun. That's just fun to have another sport to learn about, another sport to have an opinion on. Same deal with WNBA. Like we have WNBA drafts on Underdog, It's beautiful. But yeah, it's always nice to have have live sports on TV. Yes, I did see this that baseball tonight is going to be replaced by women's Sunday sports, which is very funny because the type of person who's going to be mad about that is the type of person who has not watched baseball tonight in like 10 years. Like I assume Sunday Night Baseball has to be like one of the biggest wastes of money in ESPN history, but now a lot of people are going to be very mad that Sunday night what is it? It's NWSL and WNBA. Was that it? Was NWSL. NWSL, by the way, very high quality. Unlike Major League Soccer, the NWSL features a ton of the best players in the world. So it's actually one of the domestic leagues where, it's the only soccer domestic league that the United States has a huge leg up on. I mean, partly because the US women are so good at soccer. So this is what we're going to have to ask ourselves, which is, do we want to try and force a running back with the Puka start, or do we just go, yes, you guys see this? El Guru, Best Ball Mania champion. El Guru is here. All right. So Bowers went. So I think we probably are just going to bite the bullet and do a little bit of a more zero running back start. Do I want to take Henry? I don't. I tell you what, I'm moving Rashi Rice. Okay, well, Henry goes. I'm just going to take Pickens. I've moved Rashi Rice down on the DraftKings rankings. I moved him down to like a round 6 pick. Yeah, I moved Rashi down to like round 6 on DraftKings. I'll probably move him down into that range on. I will probably move Rashi Rice down to like a round 5-ish range on Underdog as well. Not because, like, I think a minimal suspension, I wouldn't move him that much. I mean, we saw last year the just was not that big of a deal, right? He missed 6 games. Let's just take, actually, you know what? Let's do something funky. Let's actually take Ken Walker here. Let's take Ken Walker ahead of ADP, take him as our anchor. So with Rashi, what you are trying to balance with Rashi is, what are the chances that he is suspended for the entire season? Because if he is suspended for the entire season, I mean, he basically just becomes he's like the worst pick on the board. Now, Drew Davenport, who is a fantasy football lawyer, tweeted yesterday that basically he actually personally does not expect Rashi Rice to be suspended. And the key component of why he said he didn't expect Rashi Rice to be suspended was because the incidents in question took place before his felony and before he was on probation. So it was before he was on probation, right? So then it kind of becomes like literally like a double. I guess it wouldn't exactly be double jeopardy because it's not being tried for the same crime twice. But let me see if I can just actually just pull up Drew's tweet for those who might be interested. So here is the thread. Rashi Rice is being sued in Dallas County Court, yada, yada. I've had a chance to read the complaint and digest. My legal conclusion is different. The allegations in the complaint, they're really bad. I don't think Rashi Rice is, you know, certainly don't think anyone's going to argue Rashi Rice is a good guy here. Quote, the distinction appears to carry weight with the NFL as they've been loath to act on civil cases in the past. Look no further than Antonio Brown, who had multiple civil allegations of sexually inappropriate or assaultive behavior, but only served a suspension afterward, being convicted of felony assault. That's just one example of many where a civil suit. But, quote, Rice's case is different, but in the situation he finds himself in. Basically, in the general conclusion is, I mean, here, I'll read you guys the very end of the conclusion. So my conclusion, despite the allegations, is that Rice isn't likely to see a suspension in 2026 from this case. The league, if they nod to it at all, won't do so until it plays out. However, I reached out to Drew. So I sent a tweet to Drew after this, and let me see if I can find his response to that. So I asked Drew, I basically said, hey, Drew, I have a follow-up. Maybe you don't have an opinion, but because Rice is already suspended and this does fall under the player conduct policy, Roger Goodell certainly has the ability to just say, this guy just doesn't get it. Like, this guy is just a jerk and we need to do something about it. And Drew said, I do think the league being fed up is the major X factor here. In general, I think this alleged behavior predates his criminal plea, so the suit shouldn't affect the other situation. The NFL wouldn't normally take, hold on, let me make this pick. We're taking Luther Burden all day. Sorry, sidekick. We're taking Luther Burden here. Basically, Drew is saying, as a lawyer, This case is just different. It's just a different case. You can't view it as the same as like the Big Ben allegations or honestly even the Antonio Brown allegations because he's already been suspended for bad behavior. But yes, as TCD is stating, it's not even a new offense. He's just getting sued. It's not like he got arrested again. This is what I would say. The NFL obviously always does do a good job of protecting the shield. Now, Chad brought up something interesting in the Slappy Central Discord yesterday. You know what? We're all in. We're all in. We are doing a true zero running back team with Ken Walker as our hero, rather. So a true hero running back team. So Chad said this, which I found interesting. And maybe it's totally not real. So remember he had to go to New York to basically be like, how long am I going to be suspended for? Plead my case, right? So I believe this was in September of 2025. What if during that meeting, he told them that this had happened? So he said, okay, like I'm going to be suspended, but like I do have these other skeletons in my closet. I did have this other crime that I committed. Now, I mean, he probably didn't. I would see it as being unlikely, but you know, it's always possible. But by and large, I would say I don't know if I want to be the market leader on Rashi Rice. Like the fantasy points that you are going to get from Rashi Rice, I think are pretty evident. But man, I wish this dude I wish this guy would just stop being an asshole, stop being a bad guy. It's just very unfortunate when these guys are not good dudes off the field. And then there was the follow-up from Rashi Rice's lawyer where he said that the woman who had filed the suit had signed some kind of non-disclosure agreement. I mean, again, we'll see. I don't know. I don't pretend to be a lawyer about any of this. I don't pretend to be unbiased in any of this. I mean, I hope that everyone would be able to have their own opinions on who was involved, who was engaged. But you know, I will say easily my least favorite thing about fantasy football in general has been that we have to do this every year, right? I mean, this sucks just to like have to confront that some of these guys are bad dudes and that you just have to accept that they are bad dudes. I don't know. It doesn't make me happy, doesn't make me feel good. But there you go. Kevin is saying he does want to be the market leader. This is 3 years in a row where the fear mongers are poisoning young minds in best ball. TCD says they've already had the closed doors meetings and clearly weren't in a rush to suspend him before. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, the free 4 shirts. Gotta say those didn't age very well. The free 4 shirts not aging particularly well from my Kansas City Chiefs. So maybe they should reconsider moving forward. When the guys get suspended, maybe take a break back. All right. So that's my Rashi Rice opinion. We now have Kenneth Walker, Puka Nacua, George Pickens, Luther Burden, Jalen Waddle. I think Ramondre Stevenson makes a great running back too. Oh, wow. And he goes. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to eat it. I'm going to eat it with Jalen Warren. And then there'll be like any number of wide receivers I like around here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Warren and Ramondre. I mean, it's kind of Spider-Man pointing meme where you're just trying to find a running back here. And this is such a flat range. Like these running backs going after Cortland Sutton, Mike Evans, Parker Washington. I mean, the quarterbacks actually feel like Jaden Daniels at 68 feels like an insanely good pick. I honestly have not had the sidekick have Caleb Williams this high up for me yet. It's because we have Burden, but I'm going to add in Caleb Williams there. So we now have Caleb Williams with Ken Walker, Jalen Warren, wide receiver room of Puka Nacua, George Pickens, Luther Burden, and Jalen Waddle. When Alvin Kamara beat a man nearly to death on camera and got up with a slap on the wrist, it speaks volume about what the NFL actually thinks about the crimes these guys commit. Yeah, honestly, that one had like actually fully left my mind. I had forgotten almost entirely about the Alvin Kamara incident. Obviously, the two incidents that really stick out in my mind when it comes to civil cases or documentary evidence is the initial Rashi Rice suspension and the not Rashi Rice, Ray Rice, and then on top of that, the Kareem Hunt experience. Remember, Kareem Hunt kicked that woman in I want to say it was in Las Vegas or whatever, and the Chiefs just cut him. Now I don't know. I don't think the reality of the situation is the Chiefs are not going to cut Rashi Rice. Now the reality on top of that reality, the Chiefs are not giving Rashi Rice a second contract. I think Rashi Rice is going to have to go sell his wares down the road. Rashi Rice is going to have to try and get a contract from another team because you can't have the face of the league. You can't have the best player in the league, need a wide receiver, and just have this guy constantly making mistakes. I don't know if Rashi Rice had a new screw up. Apparently it's an old screw up that is now biting him up where he committed domestic violence against the mother of his child. And there's a bunch of documentary evidence. I mean, guys, Tyreek is in Kansas City right now. Literally, Tyreek is in Kansas City. Like, Tyreek is a Kansas City Chief. The only question is Tyreek going to be able to play? That's the only question that there is. I had been leaning towards Tyreek is a Chief and Tyreek is going to play until Corain had mentioned to me that I guess on a stream like 3 days ago, Tyreek had mentioned that he had another cleanup procedure done on his knee, which doesn't feel great. Let me see if what's the doctor? Is that Jeff Mueller? Jeff Mueller. Yes. Let's see. Maybe he tweeted something about it, but there's got to be other reporting on the Tyreek situation. Cuz him having a cleanup procedure is a pretty big deal. I'm not seeing it, but basically the additional there we go. Tyreek still needs another surgery, not done yet. I don't think Tyreek is done as a player. But Tyreek needs another surgery, but it hasn't been done yet. I mean, oof. I mean, if it hasn't been done yet, he is so cooked. Wow. All right. Well, guys, the thumbnail is here we go again. I mean, here we go again. Xavier Worthy at pick 94. Where do you get your ideas, Davis? Where do they come from? Where could those ideas possibly come from in your beautiful, beautiful brain? Okay, Tyreek needs another LCL procedure. I mean, it's over. Dude, it's February. You cannot have an LCL procedure as a 30-year-old wide receiver and come back and be effective. I mean, he's cooked. This is I was going to say this is a really good spot to take Dowdle, but he had just went. So if we do Laporta, we can set up a Goff. Maybe we bank a week 17 matchup with our Bear stuffs. We'll take Laporta there at 93. What are the odds that Kansas City goes wide receiver at 9 now? I mean, my opinion would still be pretty low. They have so many needs. Like, do you guys have any idea how many needs the Kansas City Chiefs roster has? It's almost preposterous how many needs the Kansas City roster has. Like it's frankly insane. I don't know how things ever got this bad, but they don't have a secondary, they don't have a running back, they don't have a tight end plan after Kelsey retires, they don't have an offensive line, they don't have a pass rush. I mean, the roster is Mahomes, the tackle that they took at 31 last year, Worthy, the remainder of Chris Jones. You know, it's just not a very good roster. I think taking a wide receiver or a running back at 9 would be just doomer shit from Beach. I don't think it would be very good at all. What are the odds that we play Royals this year? I mean, I would say basically, unless they do something unexpected in free agency, I would say Royals is probably a favorite to be like the wide receiver 5. So if wide receiver 5 for the Chiefs is something, but I mean, I think he probably would. PFF has the Chiefs taking Mekhi Lemon. I mean, that would be slappy the GD seal. I mean, that would be nuts. So then your wide receivers are Worthy, Lemon, Rice, and Tyreek. I mean, you just got a bunch of 5'10" dudes like running in circles. I don't know. I think Tate, honestly, like Denzel Boston, I think is probably a bad pick, but he would make more sense for the Chiefs, honestly. I mean, I think ultimately the Chiefs were vindicated on passing on Jonathan Taylor, but the problem was they took a much worse player at his position. Like taking the Chiefs choosing to run the ball a ton actively takes away from how good they are as a team. Look what always happens to the Bills. The Bills have a great running back. What has that done for them? What has having, one of the 5 best running backs done for the Buffalo Bills? Has not done shit for them. You know what? This is actually kind of a fun thing. I have not done this yet, but let's take a Gainwell and Warren, because when you take Gainwell and Warren together, either your team kind of sucks and is dust anyway, or you just banked 2 really strong wide receiver or 2 really strong running backs. Where would Rice go if Lemon is taken? The price would be assuming Rice has no risk. Same place. Lemon would be replacing Worthy. James Cook is most certainly not the reason that the Bills win a lot of games. That is definitely not the case. Sidekick wants Marks. I'm not doing that. Sure, whatever. Let's take Jake Ferguson, who I don't think I've taken yet in any of these drafts. What if the Chiefs just don't want any of these dudes because they can get a bit of money elsewhere? I don't understand. Benny. I would assume, yeah, Rodgers probably impacts if Gainwell's back too. I mean, the thing is if Rodgers is back, Warren and Gainwell are probably both really good picks because there's so many running back points available because they don't throw the ball to wide receivers. Like Gainwell with Rodgers back is a better pick at his cost than Metcalf is at his cost. How am I disrespecting James Cook? I'm not disrespecting James Cook at all. I'm saying James Cook is a great running back, and I'm saying the Bills have won fuck all with James Cook on their roster because they define themselves as a running team. The Bills choosing to define themselves as a heavy personnel running team is the reason that is part of the reason why they can't get it done. Like, I'm sorry, bro. If the Chiefs chose to define themselves as a heavy personnel running team, they would be a lot worse. And that just is what it is. Throwing the ball, even in the NFL now, it is more advantageous and effective to throw the ball than it is to run the ball. And that just is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna be kind of killed at second quarterback on this team. This is very likely to be a Malik Willis team for your boy. Malik Willis and Caleb Williams actually is a nice little quarterback room. I I like James Conner. I like James Conner a good bit. There was Corain and Jacob were giving me some pretty big pushback on James Conner. Like, he's an old guy, he's coming off an injury. I don't know. Well, if you draft a running back at 9 and then you don't become a run heavy team, what was the fucking point of drafting a running back at 9? Why would you spend, like, the Chiefs have been thrown a lifeline in the middle of this dynasty, an absolute lifeline. This is like you know what the Chiefs drafting Love would be like? It would be like the Warriors drafting James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga. They got thrown these absolute lifelines in the middle of their dynasty, and they wasted it. They wasted it on James Wiseman and Jonathan Kuminga, and it would be the exact same thing played out. I knew I was going to end up taking Malik Willis. It would just be a huge waste of a pick. See, the thing is that this is just does not happen anymore. There is no such thing as a heavy box. There is no such thing as single coverage for wide receivers. It does not exist. It is a fiction. That is not how defenses play anymore. It just, the game done changed. Tyler Algier. Give me Tyler Algier, 2 years, $16 million. Much better than adding Jeremiah Love. They need offensive line and defensive line. Yeah, Alvin Kamara, another really good fit for this team, actually. Shout out to the sidekick. I need some warm bodies, and Alvin Kamara is a warm body. Like, the idea of a heavy box when teams are now playing nickel as their base set is just insane, bro. Like, I respect the ball knowledge, ML, but it's got to be reflective of real life. Like, here, I can actually even, there's a really good way to look this up. NFL, if you look at the percentage of runs against, 100%. Yes, if you swap James Cook out for Jalen Waddle, the Bills are definitely Super Bowl champions. Yes, for the Chiefs, I mean, this is what it boils down to. For the Chiefs, it 100% makes more sense to take a shot on a premium position like an edge or a lineman, because they are paying so many. They're just paying so many guys. Yeah, there you go. The number one defense in the SEC was running a 2-4-5. The game done changed. Goods. The thing is, Goods, I've already done 2, so I don't want to I don't want to waste them all before the combine. Don't get me wrong. I will be max entering them. All right, so to come back to ML's point. So here are guys who faced more than 33% of their runs against 8-man boxes. Jalen Warren, RJ Harvey, David Montgomery, Zach Charbonnet, J.K. Dobbins, Derrick Henry, Quinshon Judkins. So, one, situational rushers, right? So these are particularly Dobbins, Sharbs, Montgomery, and Harvey are all situational rushers. But you're also talking about quarterback quality on this list, right? Exactly. That is a Shadur Gabriel stat. Well, guess what? So is Jalen Warren. So is RJ Harvey. So is David Montgomery. I'm ML. I'm really not even trying to pick on you. I actually am just like trying to make the point. I want to take more Omar Cooper Jr. I've been light on him. Yeah, I actually am more just like I'm talking about the point of like the Chiefs taking a running back. Because the truth of the matter is I'm actually worried they're gonna do it. The reason why I'm so against it is because I actually think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I think it might happen, and it terrifies me. It's legitimately frightening. All right, sidekick one, Sean Tucker. Sure, there you go, Sean Tucker. And if they do, it's just like great. All right, well, so we have this great running back who, by the way, Jeremiah Love, really good running back prospect, but it's not like adding Bijan. It's not like adding it's not like adding Zeke. It's not like adding McCaffrey. It's not like adding Genty. Yes, they do need a running back, but I just it's just not the way football works, man. The running back is how about this? Here's a great way to explain why they why they shouldn't do it. So let's just go look at Jonathan Taylor's stats last year. I bet you can pinpoint in his stats where Daniel Jones got hurt. I bet you can look at Jonathan Taylor's stats, and I bet you can figure out when Daniel Jones got injured. You know? Jonathan Taylor, offensive player of the year, right? He's so good. 1,500 scrimmage yards, 8 touchdowns, all those 3 touchdown games. You know, there's just only so much that a running back can do. Exactly. Any team with Philip Rivers isn't going to win. The Chiefs don't need a quarterback. Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Chiefs running backs were so bad last year that you could argue, and in fact, I think you could argue that the reason a huge reason the team struggled was that they couldn't run the ball. Like McKinnon and Hunt being involved, but man, their running backs were so bad last year that you could have convinced me that they should have spent free agent money on someone. But like imagine if they signed Rico Dowdle. Imagine had they signed Rico. Oh, boys, this is huge. This is huge. We have ourselves a fast draft. It just started. Bang. And my rankings are in. So I have bang. That was nice. There you go. How about that? A nice little CeeDee Lamb Trey McBride start. I didn't even notice. I didn't even know you guys were gonna fill it. Bang bang. This is actually a nutted start. CeeDee Lamb Trey McBride. I've been used to having to beg you guys to fill these. Little promo code Davis action over on Fast Draft. So let's go ahead and knock these out. Let's finish this one right here. Let me tab in. Well, let me get a little Keaton missile action. That's always a good fit for any 0 running back team. And we got Ken Walker now as our anchor running back. Do you guys think CeeDee Lamb, Trey McBride, and Ken Walker is about as good as a 1-1-1 start can get? That's probably about as good as a 1-1-1 start can get. I mean, I guess maybe it would have been a little bit better with Jeremiah Love. Well, are you guys pro Kenneth Walker or con Kenneth Walker? Because I can see it going both ways. Yeah, I mean, I like Love over Walker, but I am pro Walker in general. Can I get my boy Eli? Oh, Terrence Ferguson. All right, bang. Terrence Ferguson is basically my favorite pick on the board right now. Yeah, I'm saying Chase Bowers plus a running back is pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, and so these drafts on Fast Draft are well, they're only 10, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you are able to build some super teams over on Fast Draft, which to me is actually kind of fun. I don't trust bald running backs. Not even an argument. He legit fills points week to week last season. Well, it's true. Only way T-Ferg fails is if the Rams decide to draft a wide receiver at 13. That would kind of be crazy if they did, right? All All right. Well, let's actually take another wide receiver because I don't want to get behind at wide receiver. Wide receiver is actually more important in these 10 mans. So let's tap our boy Garrett Wilson. That's what I'm talking about. Are you guys okay? You're on the clock in the 4th round. Are you drafting Garrett Wilson? You can play in one fantasy league. You can draft in one single fantasy league. Are you going to take Garrett Wilson in the 4th round? I wish I had any guess on who was going to be quarterbacking the New York Jets. I don't know. You gotta supply that information yourself. Like, who is the Jets quarterback? You gotta decide. You gotta decide on your own. But I lean. Yeah, I mean, I don't think his quarterback situation could possibly get any worse. I mean, famous last words there. Little JMO action here. 10-man best ball sounds fun as fuck. Is it available in Canada? I'll ask. Or actually, I can just check their availability map. Yes. Available in all Canada provinces except Ontario. Visions. Promo code Davis will get you a $50 deposit bonus. But yes, it's available in Canada everywhere except Ontario. As a Garrett Wilson fan, I honestly still have no idea if he's great. So I would say in general, I have been anti Garrett Wilson. Do you guys remember this very specific Garrett Wilson play? It was Thursday Night Football. I don't remember who it was against, but he made that awful error. He was up against the sideline. It was the season that Rodgers was playing with the Jets, so it must have been it would have been not last year but the year before, and he didn't drag his feet. He was up against the sideline and he just wouldn't drag his feet. Yeah, sure. Ty Simpson. I always take a third quarterback in these. And let's do. All right, so I already kind of missed the premium tier, so let's just go in even harder. This draft is gonna be wonky. This sounds right. This sounds right that it was against the Steelers, but it was just like his worst game. He just had like no attention to detail. He wasn't dragging his feet. He was just running these lackadaisical routes. Like he just basically he just sucked the whole game. Demond Claiborne, fastest guy in NCAA 26. Love Demond Claiborne. But ever since that specific game, I just have been like, man, I'm not sure if I'm a Garrett Wilson guy. But all the ball knowers, they all love Garrett Wilson. And it's very hard for me to go against consensus of all the ball knowers, you know. We don't have any obvious stacks at quarterback here. Again, running back is still super flat. So maybe we take one last wide receiver. Oh, this is a good question. Where would you take Devonta Smith if AJ Brown leaves? Let's take BTJ and then be done at wide receiver. If Devonta Smith gets to play as an alpha without AJ Brown, I would definitely take him over JMO, and I could easily see taking him over Garrett Wilson, just depending on the quarterback situation. Like if their quarterback situation is Ty Simpson, Tyrod Taylor, and Brady Cook, yeah, like I'm over it. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm over it. Like I'm moving on. I'm taking my business and going elsewhere. You could see his, like you could see Garrett Wilson having like 140 point season if their quarterback play is bad enough. Garrett Wilson is a poor man's JSN. I don't even know how to think about that. Is that a positive or is that a negative? Are we dunking on him? Oh my god. My biggest fear for Garrett Wilson is Deontay Johnson, as in you think the Jets are gonna sign him? You think the Jets would sign I'm pretty sure Deontay Johnson is done out of football. All right, we are about to select. Oh damn, I was gonna take Judkins. All right, sniped. Let's do Tootin. We gotta court some variance here. Let's take let's take Tootin. Dude, imagine Garrett Wilson with Sam Darnold. Oh, 80 Mitchell is way better than Deontay Johnson, honestly. As in he's the new Deontay Johnson. Oof. I mean, I guess that you could really go either way. You could have that be a compliment. You could have that be a negative. I mean, I certainly wouldn't say it's overwhelmingly positive for sure. All right. Well, what are we gonna do quarterback here? I mean, I guess I would like to get Trevor Lawrence here. And then we really got to hammer running backs because we only have Trevor Lawrence. We got our stack in. So we are at Lawrence, Walker, Tootin, Lamb, Wilson, JMO, Jordan Tyson, BTJ with Trey McBride. It sounds like the Jets are tagging Brees. Yeah. To me, it sounds like the Jets are tagging. I'm not loving that, but hey, it could happen. Like what is oh, we got to make our last pick here. Last pick, wide receiver. You know what? I've not taken Christian Kirk once yet. Sure, why not? Is it so okay, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but with the tag and trade, don't you have to trade two firsts? How does the tag and trade work? Tag and trade NFL. A player can be tagged up to 3 times by his team with a jump in pay for each occurrence. A percentage of the salary cap taken up by the third time generally makes it prohibitive. A tagged player can be traded only after he signs the tender. Oh, it's that's the exclusive franchise tag. Okay, so it's a little different. I mean, it feels like the Chiefs should have just given up the 4th round pick. Algier is an awesome pick in this build, actually. So now our running back room is kind of reasonable. All right, so we can be done at wide receiver with Lamb, Wilson, JMO, Tyson, Thomas. Famously, last year's big board winner, Goods, who told me in last summer's stream or last spring stream to be drafting Javonte Williams, who ended up on his winning team. He said that Braylon Allen is this year's Javonte. So do with that what you will. All right, we're about to get gross at running back here, guys. I remember a pre-draft hype interview with Olave and Wilson both claimed JSN. Yes, yes, I actually have a distinct memory of that. All right, we are going to take J.K. Dobbins here because we just kind of need an adult in the room. We have no idea if the Jets are being responsible yet. They thought they would be okay last year and then pivoted by trading the whole team. It's true. Hot take, the Saints make the playoffs. Buddy, that is not that hot around here. On the Davis Maddock YouTube channel, we are pro Kellen Moore. We are pro Tyler Shuck. We are pro Chris Olave. Have I considered that Braylon Allen has no talent whatsoever? Have you considered that he has his whole life ahead of him? Because it doesn't sound like you have considered that he has his whole life ahead of him. I believe that a player has a no trade clause during a tag and trade so they can choose their destination technically. Now that's very interesting. We are also pro Tyler Shuck's dog. Also, Tyler Shuck is just trying to copy my whole flow because Tyler Shuck just had a baby. Like this week. And its middle name is Dubois. Speaking of Braylon Allen, Braylon Allen is really low owned in this fast draft tournament. So bang. Give me a little Braylon Allen. Oh, I meant to respond to this earlier. So first off, Alvin Kamara is not going to be a cap casualty. He was telling everybody he does not want to play for anyone other than the Saints. I don't think he's going to be a cap casualty. I think he's going to renegotiate his contract, but I don't think he's going anywhere. No, the dog's middle name is not Dubois. No. I believe his kid's name is Grayson Dubois Shuck. Xavier Dubois Maddock. That's a kid's name. It's true. Do people give dogs middle names? I'm sure they do. White people. Hold on, let me take Malik Willis. White people love to tell you stuff like, my dog's middle name is Dubois. White people love to say shit like, my dog's middle name. My dog has a middle name. That's how you know I'm a suburban white. My dog has a middle name. My dog has a middle name. It's Dogbert. A dog should have a first, middle, and a take on your last name. Of course. Of course. That's the funniest thing. White people love to be like, oh, I got to take my dog to the sitters. White people love to say shit like that. How does the slap model process Braylon Allen starting at the age of Wisconsin, the age of 12? Let's go look. I bet it doesn't love him truly, but we can find out. Cause he didn't catch the ball. All right, let's do final. Do we need one more running back? Yeah, we need one more running back, one more tight end. Ooh, I'm gonna scroll. I'm scrolling for this tight end pick. Braylon. All right, you guys ready for this scroll? 12.2% owned. Terrence Ferguson. Okay, Braylon Allen slap score. Display score 44.5, model score 42.6. Draft capital score really low. Really low production score. Good speed score percentile, so above average speed score. Yeah, so basically, because he didn't catch the ball. If you don't catch the ball, you're just not going to be that good. So same deal with Love. Love does not look that good in the speed score either, or in the slap score either, because he just was not a big pass catcher ever. And how about a little 4.9% owned Keaton Mitchell? 2 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 5 wide receivers, 2 tight end. Folks, that's how it's done. All right, so final team. Trevor Lawrence, Malik Willis, Kenneth Walker, Byshell Tootin, Tyler Algier, J.K. Dobbins, Braylon Allen, Keaton Mitchell, CeeDee Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams, Jordan Tyson, Brian Thomas Jr., Trey McBride, Terrence Ferguson. If you guys want to hop in some drafts like that took, I mean, how long did that take? 15 minutes, 14 minutes? 19 minutes. My pick time was 7.3 seconds. Beautiful. The app name is Fast Draft. Promo code Davis will get you a $50 deposit match. That underdog team that we just finished was Caleb Williams, Malik Willis, and Ty Simpson. Kenneth Walker, Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell. The Kenneth stack. Alvin Kamara, Sean Tucker, Keaton Mitchell, DeMond Claiborne, Puka Nacua, George Pickens, Luther Burden, Jalen Waddle, Xavier Worthy, Omar Cooper Jr., Christian Kirk, Sam Laporta, Jake Ferguson, Terrence Ferguson. The double Kenneths and double Fergusons. Never let them know where you're slapping from, bro. Never let them know where you're slapping from. All right, let's hop into another big board arena. What do we think? Think a little big board action? Skymore still on every board. All boards everywhere. You can get Skymore. All right, so we're drafting at it. Wow. Old Mr. Shady Advice. Old friend Shady Advice in the lobby. Okay, so we're drafting at 6 in this one. So that's a little bit of a choose your own adventure where you can take Jonathan Taylor, you can take Christian McCaffrey, but I would hear an argument to kind of take any of these guys. Not sure if I am more upset this community made me learn about clavicular or Land Larison. Hey, no besmirching my guy Land Larison. GM Purple Yosh. I drafted one NBA playoff best ball team right when it drafted. I think there are two very clear edges in NBA playoff best ball right now. One, the market is not taking the Detroit Pistons very seriously, and two, there are the secondary Thunder players are more important this year and are not being drafted. So you can get AJ Mitchell, you can get Alex Caruso, you can get Lou Dort. These guys are very cheap. Yes, the NBA playoff best ball is up, Jordan. It was during this whole cast, Brad. It was. I had to rip one, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I think I got AJ Mitchell in the 7th round in that one. AJ Mitchell should be like a 4th round pick. Well, all right, I lied. I'm taking JSN because Shady Mr. Advice just shook Jonathan Taylor. Let's see if Shady Advice frame mugs me while I'm Jester maxing. I hope he doesn't. Ooh. Okay, big news here. The Raiders, according to Evan Sideri, the Raiders will release Geno Smith ahead of the new league year, which will clear the way for number 1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza to start immediately. Smith's 2026-27 salary is set to become fully guaranteed on the 3rd day of the new league year, if not traded or released. So that is fairly big news for fantasy football because it means that Geno is now in that clump of guys. Yes, exactly. So now that we know that this is happening, Geno is in the mix with your Jacoby Brissett's, your Ty Simpsons, your Mariotas. Like I would definitely take Geno over Shadur. I would probably even take Geno over Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, is it that crazy? Is it that crazy for Geno to go back to the Jets? I don't think it's that crazy. I'm sure I'm sure whoever drafted him is long gone. I'm sure the Jets have probably had 19 GMs there. So it would just be do Woody Johnson and Geno Smith dislike each other, which I don't know, seems unlikely. Do I want to do the full slap start? You know what? Let's just do it, man. Let's slap it up. JSN Bowers, bro. Never let him know where you're slapping from. Yes, Geno and the Jets for sure ended on bad terms. Yeah, that is very much true. But all the dudes who were there for Geno to have disliked are gone now. It's not crazy in a likelihood to happen sense, but it's crazy in the sense that it won't change anything for the Jets. It won't change anything. It won't change anything for the Jets as it pertains to their win-loss record. Like they're still going to suck. I'll tell you what it will change. I mean, say whatever you want about Geno Smith. I know it became very fun to like laugh at how stupid the fantasy football community was for falling for Geno Smith. But I mean, Geno Smith is a lot better than Tyrod Taylor and Geno Cook, Brady Cook, like a lot better. And the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders thing, I guess we should have known at the time. It was always destined to fail. Like Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly were profoundly unserious people, right? They were just profoundly unserious. Yes, but the Jets offensive line is great. The Jets offensive line is they have Membu like didn't allow a sack last year or something crazy. Yes, the Jets offensive line is awesome. Wow. Speaking of the Jets, I'm about to frame Mog Shady by taking Josh Jacobs right here. I was gonna take Brees Hall, but he went. Bang. All right, we just did the double Seattle. I didn't even realize that. Ooh, hey, Sack, if you are still here, what have you guys done with Mr. Rice in the in the sidekick? Triple RP look maxing. Yeah, Sack or Shady, if you guys are here, what is the sidekick assuming in terms of Rashi Rice suspension risk, non-suspension risk? Has there been any adjustments or anything that would be helpful? Yes, we are. Leone isn't afraid. Decent chance he's suspended. Rice has some suspensions in his range of outcomes, including full seasons. All right, there you go. All right, there we go. Sack and Shady with the that's unparalleled customer service right there. Do I really think Kenneth Walker will be in Seattle? I either think he's in Seattle or getting paid a crazy amount of money by a different team to get a lot of points for them. That's just my opinion. Could be wrong. Have been wrong about many things in the past. Well, my rankings say Burden. Sidekick says Devonta. I'll let the sidekick win that one because I don't mind taking Jalen Hurts on this team. Just another reason to take Xavier Worthy, Maxwell. The Jets are, I think, not even in the Malik Willis running. I think Malik Willis probably is going to get to pick where he wants to go. And I would just guess that he doesn't want to go to the Jets. I would guess that he gets a chance to go to the Dolphins. I would guess he might even get a chance to go to the Cardinals. And I think he might get paid a good amount of money to do so. Fantasy football analyst Mount Rushmore. Sean Siegel. Fantasy douche. Mike Clay. And JJ Zacharyson. That's my fantasy football analyst Mount Rushmore. Fantasy douche, Sean Siegel, Mike Clay, JJ Zacharyson. Plenty of room to disagree, but that's my fantasy football analyst Mount Rushmore. Brother, you already did 115 big boards? Rabona King. You're not even saving time to draft the new fun combine guys. Rice suspension over or under 10.5 games. I mean, my opinion would be either Rashi Rice gets suspended for the entire season or he doesn't get suspended at all. That to me actually feels like the most reasonable way to approach it, where either he's suspended because the league decides it's a huge problem or the league waits for it to get played out in court. Bang. Wow. I have not gotten a 5th round Trevion Henderson yet. This is kind of a wonky draft, but I will happily take it. Dude, the one hole is slap mogging the shit out of me. Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, AJ Brown, Luther Bird, and Jalen Waddle. Ooh. Maybe I would sub out Mike Clay for Leone. I could be talked into subbing out Clay for Leone. Mike Clay's done a lot for the game, man. Mike Clay, first off, Mike Clay's been in the game for a long time. Mike Clay has free publicly available projections. I've done 9 drafts. These boards are disgusting. I hate every team I draft. I love these. I love these boards. Come on, man. We're having a blast here. I'm buying the dip on the combine, guys. Once the hype comes in, they won't be going here anymore. Yeah, but it's fun. Imagine how fun that would be. Yeah, Barry and Clay are huge pioneers. I mean, Barry is the, I guess Matthew Barry would be like the George Washington, honestly, of fantasy football. He's got to be on there. Well, it depends on if you want the Mount Rushmore to be what it is in U.S. politics, which is just like the most influential, as opposed to like who you would consider the greatest. It would be Matthew Barry. It would be Evan Silva. It would be Mike Clay. And then honestly, probably like Mike Fabiano or something. Like it would honestly be people that are not even like relevant to the best ball exercise. Damn. Sniped on Jalen Hurts. I'm not taking Drake May. I'm actually not interested. I'm gonna frame mog myself by taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh yeah. Yeah. The ballers. Yeah. For as big as Mason is, I don't even know this. Fantasy football ballers. I wonder how many. You know what, dude? Mason is almost as big as the ballers. The ballers have 441,000 subscribers, and Mason has 300,000 subscribers. So Mason on his own is almost as big as the ballers. I mean, you know what is funny? Probably the most fantasy football content I've consumed is actually uh the football guys. The Audible with Sigmund Bloom and Cecil Lammy and Matt Waldman is all time. Love that stuff. GM A-Land happened to be in this draft. Jasper 121. Salute, sir. Nick, yeah, Nick, and his guys over at BDGE do very good work, and I mean they have a huge channel as well. I mean, obviously I admire many things about Mason. Mason is like I just like really like him as a person, but I also really admire him. But the thing that is so cool about Mason is like it's literally just him, dude. Like he started it all himself. That's pretty freaking badass, dude. Like there's no difference between what I'm doing right now and what Mason did, other than that he is like, just obviously so much better at it than I am. Oh, dude. Do I dare do the double Patriots slap fest? No, shocking the sidekick wants me to take Harold Fannin Jr. I don't believe it. No way the sidekick. Wow. I don't think I've done very many combos of this yet. Oh, Greg Rosenthal. True. Yeah. I mean, Greg Rosenthal he's even outside the bounds of fantasy football now. He's just an NFL reporter now. Yeah, football guys. So football guys were also the first content that I really got into because my dad was a big fantasy football guy and my dad was a big into the fantasy football guys. Yeah, I don't think Mason would take this as a diss. Not to sound like a diss, but I view Mason more in the YouTube side of fantasy versus analyst. I don't think I certainly don't think Mason would be ashamed by that. I Mason he told me this once. He's like he views his job as helping you win your fantasy league. Like his job is to help you win your 12-team fantasy league, which is a pretty important job and honestly, it's a big job. That's a job that a lot of people need. So a lot of people need someone to hold their hand doing that. When did I draft most of my best teams last season? I have no idea. I really have no clue when I drafted the best teams. God, Stephon Diggs, man, we're still doing this. Okay, so I've got Darnold live, Hurts is gone, Jacoby's live, Mendoza's live. So I don't really need a stack. You know what? Whatever. Stephon Diggs. Come on down, Stephon. I don't even think you're a good pick, but whatever. I've been labeling I've been labeling the teams I do with guess, Mighty Monarch. I've been doing a better job of labeling the ones with guess. I've not been labeling the ones I do on my own. I'm also in like a gargantuan amount of slow drafts. When you have a kid, slow drafts are kind of the key. They're really nice when you have a baby because it means that I can just sit down and knock them out in a stretch. I'm sure if I was smarter with I could probably get one of the bots to label them. I started with the ballers, then went to Mason, then Chess Liam, and now I kind of just watch this channel and Pete and ship chasing. I would say, first off, GM. Second off, I would say that's probably a pretty common pathway is you get super into fantasy football, then you find out about best ball, then you find out about niche best ball streamers, and then you just are like, okay, these are the niche best ball streamers that I like. Chess Liam, Crack Rock, Jacob Sanderson, hit him with the gritty 18. That's my Mount Rushmore. Yeah. Ship chasing is I mean, ship chasing before I was on it was my favorite fantasy football program, so I certainly see why people would like it. Replace Jacob with Gilbert Arenas. My goat, Gilbert Arenas. Jadarian Price makes sense. I'm running out of quarterbacks to stack. You know what? I could do like a back stack. I could do like Love Reed. I just am like dead at. You know what? I kind of need a running back. I'm gonna take Jadarian Price. I'm kind of frame mugging myself on this team. Any idea if more fast drafters have won the big contrast over slow drafters? I can guarantee you it's been fast drafters, but not for the reason you'd think. The amount of drafts that are done as fast drafts for slow drafts are way disproportionately weighted towards fast drafts. Like they put this data out once, but I think it's like I believe it's like 80-20 fast drafts to slow drafts. Someone would maybe have better info than I would, but it's like for every slow draft there are like 5 fast drafts. Oh, I am also, you know what? Man, my favorite fantasy football analyst, it might be Gretsch. It's kind of hard between Crane, Gretsch, Jacob. Yeah, I don't know. It would be hard for me to really pick one, but I am a huge huge fan of Mr. Gretsch. Damn, Love and Shuck went. All right, I'm getting killed at quarterback. I'm just getting murdered. There's like no way out of this. I'm getting frame mugged by the quarterback drafters. Oh, I do love Flock. I am certainly not saying anything else. All right, Baker Mayfield, unstacked Baker Mayfield. But like I said, like Flock does He does like a lot of redraft content. Yeah, me personally, no, I'm not concerned about being handicapped doing a lot of slows, but the sample sizing would be that fast drafts are where the winners. There you go. Jason is in a warm slow with me right now. He's one of the down bad state bros, many such cases. I'm super in on drafting early this year. I think it's easier to sneak a weaker team into the playoffs. Lack of info means a bunch of teams in your pods will be dead by August. I tend to agree with you, Manly Moose. I also agree with this. I just feel like getting good players matters more than stacking this time of year. Yeah, I think you're certainly are drafting more for talent right now. And you're also drafting for like huge closing line value once Best Ball Mania gets here. Oh, Dwayne, you know what? Actually, great call out here. Dwayne also does phenomenal work over at Fantasy Life. I mean, I'm a big fan of Dwayne as well. Yeah, I would consider Dwayne part of the group of people whose like rankings and opinions I consider. And you guys know how hard it is for me to listen to other people's opinions. Yeah, I mean, Sean is like kind of in a. I feel like Sean is maybe even just in a tier of his own in terms of fantasy football content creation. All right, I actually recovered here because I got Darnold. So now we've got Mayfield, Darnold, Walker, Henderson, Price, JSN, Devonta, Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Brock Bowers, and Harold Fannin Jr. Is it crazy to have Skylar Bell in the top 5 list? Yeah, the issue you're gonna have with Skylar Bell is he's like a billion years old. I think he's literally actually 25 years old. Jacob Gibbs, yeah, huge shout out to Jacob Gibbs as well. Um, big, big fan of Jacob. he does really good work. Bime4 does very good work. So I think Bime4, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the guys at Spike Week actually launched the first like draft helper. Yeah. Eric does good work. Those guys do good work over there. Skylar Bell over Chris Bell. Well, Chris Bell is coming in as a rookie with a torn ACL. So, can't say that that's a great situation to be in. There you go. Skylar Bell turns 24 during training camp. There you go. I would say I was intrigued by Skylar Bell before I started to dive too deep into everything. I would still say if he makes a team, I would consider him kind of like not the same style of player, but like Tez Johnson getting routes on the Buccaneers. Like if he got routes, I would be interested. This is an awesome Fernando Mendoza team. I've totally bailed myself out at quarterback. GM Lutz. Imagine telling someone 1 year ago that Kenny Gainwell would be drafted higher than Matthew Golden. I'm not loving that. I'm not loving that for me personally because I was a big Matthew Golden guy. Wow, a rare great team for Matthew Emerson. I actually do think this team's turning out quite nice. We got Mendoza Bowers, we got Darnold. I've got and there you go. We're gonna figure this out right now. And then I'm about to take some disgusting running backs. I don't have to take McMillan here, do I? I've noticed the sidekick is not as stacking pilled in this iteration of it. I mean, it could just be totally anecdotal. but I have noticed that the stacks have not been jammed as hard in the sidekick this year, which again, I do think is just a direction that this is all heading in. Fantasy football is so hard because how the fuck did Kenny Gainwell look like Breece Hall last year? Agreed. Is Debo's gone? Debo's gone. Yeah, I'm taking Jalen McMillan over Josh Downs when I've already got the stack. The fantasy points team for redraft is excellent. Yeah, Scott does good work. Ryan Heath does good work. Their film guy tilted me so hard because he was like the biggest Caleb Williams hater. And I'm sure the film guy does really good work, but I just remember being I just was on a warpath of any Caleb Williams haters. Their name is on a list for me. Yeah, I mean, frankly, as expected, Sack gives the correct answer, which is the more efficient the market, the easier it is for stacks to break ties. The less efficient the market, the more the sidekick will just want to exploit bad ADPs. Makes sense. The game is beatable. I mean, I'm not even saying anything bad about the guy. I don't know anything about him or like how he does his work or his hits or his misses or anything. I'm not trying to say anything bad about him. But me personally, he rage baited me. He got me good. And not like my own friends were not rage baiting me. Like Crane and Jacob and Peter were rage baiting me every week on Caleb Williams. He did. He jester maxed me. He did. He literally did jester max me. I've done some team stacking, but also playing with divisional stacks. The divisional stacks are fun because you like are drawing pretty live for it to be relevant in the money weeks for sure. All right. So we have a 3-4-5-2 with Mayfield, Darnold, Mendoza, Ken Walker, Trevion Henderson, Jadarian Price, Aaron Jones, JSN, Devonta Smith, Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Jalen McMillan, Bowers, and Bannon. Definitely still a little light at running back. This is probably going to be a Demond Claiborne team. Many such cases of that. Dude, okay. You guys got to be so for serious about the Heidenreich. This is not an NFL player, bro. I love these Navy Army like theoretical prospects as much as the next guy. Like I was down for like Tommy Mellett and Cam Miller, and I hope he gets drafted. Like I hope it goes well, but I just cannot foresee this guy's gonna be an NFL player. He looks like he's about 16 years old. Sidekick wants Tank Dell. All right, Tank Dell. I mean, he just looks like a baby, dude. I think he's too small. I know it's going to be a Demond Claiborne team. Quick NBA playoff thoughts. Raps and Rockets are underpriced, and people are stacking too many projected points for constructions in rooms. Do you have a thought on Burnergate, Jordan? Lan Larison almost got a Super Bowl ring, Mac Nova, because he was on the injured reserve for the Patriots. So he almost got a Super Bowl ring. Who is the Nick Nash this year? I mean, it's Skylar Bell. 35% dominator rating, crazy raw stats. I think he's too small. Selects Tank Dell. Well, all right. Well, fair enough. I don't know. He's got the Zoomer haircut and everything. Dude, trust me. I would love to be wrong about this, but the guy I learned my lesson with from the academy schools was Keenan Reynolds. And you guys are probably too young to remember Keenan Reynolds. He was drafted to the Ravens as a wide receiver. He was the all-time college football leader in touchdowns. And it just he was so dominant, but it just never happened. And that really learned me a lesson. So I'm not taking Njoku or Hawkinson here. I'm going to take Joseph Mixon because I already know the last tight end I want to take. The Zoomer haircut clearly correlates with fantasy points. Who else has the Zoomer haircut? McCaffrey does not have the Zoomer haircut. JJ McCarthy has the Zoomer haircut, and there was not very many fantasy points to be found there. Who else has the Zoomer haircut that scored fantasy points? I think it correlated improperly. Zach Wilson. No, Mahomes' hair is different. Mahomes does not have the Zoomer cut. It's slightly different. Mahomes' haircut is a variation of the Zoomer broccoli cut. It's not the same. It's clearly different. All right, Keaton Missile, top running back available. Gonna take Keaton Missile in round 17. Cooper DeJean. Oh, you know what? I'm on the island with you, dreaming of Sundays. I'm with you. I am also well, or maybe I'm alone. Maybe I'm alone. Last Japanese soldiering for Joe Mixon. But I'm looking at freaking Mike Washington and Tank Bigsby and Caleb Johnson. I'm like, dude, some team is going to give the ball to Joe Mixon if his foot is on his body. Ooh, Cooper DeJean, Odell. I mean, I feel like Odell's is also a variation because Odell has a fade into it, which I think makes it different. But Cooper DeJean for sure has the haircut. I mean, dude, Cooper DeJean he's such a Zoomer. I'm first off, I'm not in the business of asking favors. Two, I don't think they want me in the flock league, bro. It's true. He did. You know what? It's true. It's true. He did frame Monk Saquon. Patrick Mahomes is to broccoli hair as Athens was to the Roman Republic. That is just the kind of reference that gets me out of bed in the morning, bro. Honestly, that is what we're doing here. That is, I wish I could tell you the amount of joy that brings me. All right. Well, I think Keaton is maybe even a restricted free agent, so I think we're drawing live Sundays. I think we're drawing live even if the Ravens do bring one in. All right, instead of Mason Taylor, I will be selecting Eli Stowers. He is my current fascination at the tight end position. Bang. Big Sonny, my guy, likes the purple lighting. I changed it up. I also have a new lighting apparatus down here. So I'm not using the string lights anymore. Yeah, the league is like a reality show. And I just maybe I'm not the best fit. And that's called self-awareness. And that's okay, man. Not everything has to be for everyone. Wow, Renner did not have Stowers in his top 5. Sad. Guess Renner does a no ball. Stowers is one of those guys that I actually think you should watch because holy shit, does he just pop off the screen when you're watching him? What does Karain always say? The shot out of a cannon. Stowers freaking looks like he's shot out of a cannon. I mean, he can really move for a big guy. I would not be surprised if Stowers is a second round pick. Now he probably isn't going to do anything because rookie tight ends don't do anything. People are saying it more and more all the time. Stowers over Sadiq. I'm hearing it. Julius Caesar frame moxed. So I've never tried to say this name out loud. Oh, Vercingetorix by doing micro tears all over Gaul. It's true. I've never said it out loud. I've only read it. But I just realized I've heard Dan Carlin say that many times. I don't know why Karain always wants me to take dust ass Cooper Cup. Can I take someone else? All right, whatever. Cooper Cup. I got the stack. Cooper Cup tweeted about Robert Woods retiring yesterday, and I swore to God it was him retiring. So this tweet starts, incredible career, worth its weight in sheer productivity. I started reading this tweet and I was like, "Oh, Cooper Cup just retired. Cooper Cup won a Super Bowl, he retired." Think about Cooper Cup like this. If Malachi Fields was projecting for the same points as Cooper Cup in week 17, you'd throw a fucking parade for Malachi Fields. But when Cup does, it's HR meme. Honestly, and I'm okay with that being my operational philosophy. Not that isn't everyone's operational philosophy. It's not the operational philosophy of people who win money. But for me, I'm fine being HR meme with a round 5 wide receiver and a 32-year-old wide receiver. Yeah, Daniel Jeremiah keeps saying Fields is going to be a first rounder. I don't really see it either. I actually have oh damn, I missed all my running backs. They're all gone. All right, guess we're taking Jack Besh. I have a video coming out Saturday at noon Eastern with Matthew Betts from the FF Ballers, and we talk about Malachi Fields in that one. Yes, nice to see Sacrilegious improving the Josh Reynolds angle. These guys. Editor, I gotta send Pat Mayo an email because we just did a take cast. Yes, round 19 stack with Darnold just has to be done. You're very right about that. Okay, final team. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Fernando Mendoza, Kenneth Walker, Trevion Henderson, Jadarian Price, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Keaton Missile, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devonta Smith, Marvin Harrison, Stephon Diggs, Jalen McMillan, Tank Dell, Cooper Kupp, Jack Besh, Brock Bowers, Harold Fannin, and Eli Stowers. I actually think that one went pretty well. I think that was pretty nice. Yeah, he went to Seth McGowan committed I believe a felony robbery, which does make him seem like he's probably going to be a Kansas City Chief. Yeah, if you were gonna project what team he would be on, you would say he's probably going to be a Kansas City Chief. Trying out Mayo's Betspert Golf, been pretty cool. Yeah, golf is a beautiful sport for fantasy sports and for gambling. I would say it's honestly one of my all-time favorites. Actually, probably my true all-time favorite. I love golf, man. Golf the sport, golf watching on TV. I just, what can you say? I just think it's neat. Yeah, the war room being full before the combine is kind of insane. The sickos are hungry out there. Good evening live streaming options. I don't know. When I clock out of here, Jets drop bombs. I honestly am pretty offline. Hanging with my kid. I'm walking the dog. You know, I have sadly I have very little time in my life these days for live streams, which is a bit of a bummer. All right, we got ourselves a little chase team. I don't know if I've done too many chase teams with the sidekick up. Can I tell you why Jonathan Vegas is currently 6 strokes ahead of Ludwig Oberg? Something is very wrong with Ludwig. I don't know what happened to him, but something is very off with Ludwig. He 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 cannot figure out his swing. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to these guys. Shout out to my guys, Tyler, Eric BBG. The Toxic Tower is pretty cool. You guys should check that out. PPR Tyler Emo Cowboy, and Eric BBG. You guys should check it out. Shout out to those guys. I think they're I believe I saw they are streaming tonight. So you should go check them out if you're needing something. Ludwig hit a drive further to the right than I've ever seen. I mean, look, any of us who are golfers or have spent a lot of time golfing knows what it's like to fight it, right? I mean, we've all spent time fighting it. He's fighting it. Ty needs the NBA DFS gods on his side tonight. Man, you know what? I would say NBA DFS outside of when Underdog is doing the Dog Bowl. That's been the number one thing I've let go since having a child is I do not have the it's not even the time. I do not have the energy for NBA DFS. Sidekick wants Drake London or Bowers? London or Bowers? Is it going to refresh? Sidekick wants London. All right. I've taken precious thus far. I don't know. Something about Drake London just leaves me sort of empty, you know? I don't know. I would have a hard time saying what it is. Why does Drake London not feel like a dominant wide receiver one? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't feel it. And it's also I don't love his stacking options either. Like the stacking options are not great. So it's kind of just like what are we doing here? It's true. London was absolutely smashing. I'm gonna read the tea leaves of the room. All the running backs are gone here. I'm gonna take Bucky over Rashi. That's just personal risk preference there. I don't know. What are you guys doing with Rashi? I'm having a hard time with Rashi Rice. It just although man, buying the suspension Dipperino has been basically undefeated. Hasn't every suspension player the ADP dip has been like, oh, you should have like Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, even Rashi last year was a clear by the suspension dip spot. Jordan Addison last year. I mean, I don't know if the NFL I really actually don't know this if the NFL has ever suspended someone for a civil suit, but has there ever been a guy who committed a felony and got suspended by the league who then got a civil suit? Sadly, if Rashi does play, yes, you are going to have wanted the gimmick merchant felon. I don't make the rules. Ooh, I mean, there are a lot of running backs who can take Chase Brown's job. I mean, Samaj P. Ryan took half of Chase Brown's job last year. Like Samaj P. Ryan was playing third downs and getting goal line snaps last year. Yeah, Zeke. So Zeke only got a 1 game suspension though. I believe if that's correct. Yeah, Watson was suspended for like what was it like 26 civil suits or whatever. I mean, it was a lot of suits. Man, Crane just never ever lets me take. Oh, JMO. Okay, all right. Well, I'm not passing on JMO here for freaking RJ Harvey. I choose to believe. Something about me is I choose to believe. Yeah, P Ryan was playing 40% of the snaps last year when he was healthy. It's a pretty good free agent class, and I guess the thing I'm worried about with Chase Brown is Chase Brown is just not that good. I mean, he's not bad. I don't remember this at all. I frankly completely wiped this out of my mind. Kamara with the suspension dip. I can't remember if he was good or bad. All right, Jalen Waddle. All right. All right, handshake, sidekick. That's fine with me there. What season was Alvin Kamara suspended? Alvin Kamara PFR. I want to say maybe he did well. I sometimes pair Rice with Tyreek to help bridge the gap. I kind of like that idea. I think Shady frame mogged us recently. Okay, what year? So would it have been in 2023 when Kamara got suspended? 12 games. 2023. Is this it? I mean, pretty good season, right? I mean, not great. Yeah. I mean, so actually, I guess he wasn't great. He just was a PPR scam. He had 75 catches in 13 games. So 75 catches in 13 games is pretty good. Which I guess is kind of always the deal with Kamara. Like you're sort of always taking Kamara for the PPR scam. So I guess he was pretty good. Yeah, I guess the problem with the Tyreek and Rice logic is that they both just might um miss the beginning of the season. This is very funny. You're felon maxing. The Broncos re-signed Michael Bandy. My thoughts are Sean Payton just loves to be the most annoying dude alive. He loves it. Like I'm absolutely convinced that Sean Payton actually knows how much he pisses all of us off. I'm absolutely convinced that he thinks it's funny. No question in my mind. He thinks it's funny to get Michael Bandy touchdowns. Don't you guys think that's almost certainly true? Wow, Joe Burrow, no integrity protectors. Chase Burrow. Shout out San Diego Torero legend Michael Bandy. I mean, he's been in the NFL for like a billion years. Michael Bandy has. And he's just hung around. He was a Charger for a while. He just hangs around, hangs around, hangs around. Good for him. Is there any landing spot where you'd come around on Sadiq? I mean, there's probably a lot of landing spots I would come around on Sadiq. I'm not taking Drake May, so I guess I'm taking Fannin. I'm not buying Drake May at these prices. He's going to get cheaper. All right, where would the nut spot for Kenyon Sadiq be? Bengals would be really good for Kenyon Sneak. Let's go look at Tankathon. So the Rams could be really good. Tampa Bay could be good. Baltimore could be good. Maybe Dallas. Maybe the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers give up on Gadsden. San Francisco. What if San Francisco takes him because Kittle is done? T-Bear. He's like Mike Evans, but in the intermediate area with 1/3 of the touchdowns. Why would May get cheaper if Herbert, Caleb, Trevor all go here and Pat's expected to add a couple weapons? Because projections are going to come out. When the projections come out, I don't think May will project that well. I could be wrong though. I mean, yeah, I think most quarterbacks are probably fine unstacked right now. The Charles Davis mock had Sadiq to the 49ers. SF is in play. Yeah. Carolina could give him a big target share, but like what's the point? Pats will be in tougher games. May left. You know what, Nick? You're an unreliable narrator on Drake May. It's like coming to me for Xavier Worthy advice. Go somewhere else if you're trying to get the real advice there. Look, y'all, everyone has their logic. Chuba Hubbard actually fits this build quite nicely. So we know Burrow, Bucky, Chase, London, J-Mo, Waddle, Fannin. Kind of fire. Laporta would be a nice fit on this team. In Dynasty, the 49ers is great, but doesn't that basically kill Sadiq this season? I don't think so. Juwan Jennings is a free agent. Ayuk is gone. Kittle has the Achilles injury. We don't know if Ricky Pearsall is a reliable wide receiver one at all. McCaffrey is 29 or 30. Like McCaffrey could hit an age cliff at any time. QB2 last year at pick 77 can't be too bad. I mean, I'm not saying May is like a never click. All right, sure. I'll take Rico Dowdle and Chuba. They're not going to be teammates anywhere. FYI, Baker had as many rushing yards as Pirine. I mean, that's not the point, though. The point is what happens when they are both on the field together. And the answer is when Pirine and Chase Brown. Oh, I got to log in. When Pirine and Chase Brown were both healthy, they were splitting snaps. I mean, it's just I was a huge Chase Brown guy. Pirine is playing 36% of the snaps. Chase Brown played 66, 27% of the rushes, but he played 72% of the long down and distance, 21% of the rushes inside the 5. Yeah, I mean Chase Brown scored a bazillion touchdowns. Yeah, I'm not saying Chase Brown is going to 0, but Chase Brown does not have like a backfield to himself. Dowdle feels like a trap. Like, is the team really going to make him their number one? I mean, dude, he was so good last year. I think a team could certainly make him their 1A or their 1B. Like, couldn't Rico Dowdle sign with the Chiefs? Couldn't Rico Dowdle sign with the Cardinals? Rico Dowdle could sign with who? Rico Dowdle could sign with the Jaguars if they don't want to pay a running back as much as ETN wants. Rico Dowdle could sign with the Texans. What if Rico Dowdle signed with the Texans? What if Rico Dowdle signed with Dallas? Have you thought about that? Wow, getting bullied into taking Dalton freaking Kincaid. Yeah, I mean, Algier is going to get so much more expensive. That is definitely true. Hmm. Well, I tell you what, I don't like that I just took Kincaid and then it told me to take Shakir. So I'm really hoping someone else takes Shakir. Rico, I'm not saying Rico is like a great running back, but he's fine. Like the Rico is totally fine. I really do not want to take Khalil Shakir, man. Why? I'll take Kyler Murray. We'll set up a weird thing here. I'll take Kyler Murray as my second quarterback. I got Neighbors in the third in an NFC best ball slow. The Boomers are not into him. Yeah, God, imagine what the Boomer streets are like right now. The Boomer best ball streets are probably so much better than sweating it out on Underdog right now. How many zero running back teams have been drafted on NFC or FFPC thus far? Like probably like startlingly little. I'm pretty sure Algier is good. Kincaid was 4th in the league in yards per route run playing on a torn PCL. Why am I upset? I just think guys like NFL careers kind of generate momentum, if that makes sense. And I just feel like we already know what Dalton Kincaid's career is going to be. Dalton Kincaid's career is he's going to be a pretty good limited sample player forever. Like that is just what Dalton Kincaid is going to be. He's going to be pretty fine on a hyper limited sample for his whole life. And he'll just kind of that's just kind of always who he's going to be. The Josh Downs of tight ends. Well, Algier has a lower yards per carry because I mean he doesn't get that many carries and he's in he gets goal line and short yardage stuff. I guess you know what, honestly, I guess I don't want it bad enough. Maybe I should do an FFPC. A little Trey Benson action. Sure, we'll do a little Trey Benson action. Maybe that ends up being a stack. Maybe the Cardinals can't get rid of and they end up like there's definitely worlds where the Cardinals are just like, fuck it. Kyler's our quarterback. We fired the coach. You know, we're just keeping him. Don't you think that is definitely possible? There you go. This is the first YouTube commenter, my guy Young C Jeezy here. This is the first YouTube commenter who has ever been pro Kyler Murray. YouTube commenters normally hate Kyler Murray. I'm pretty sure they already vocalized he's going to be traded. No one's trading for him. Kyler is getting cut, or the Cardinals are going to have to send a pick out. Ooh, you know what? Benson and Connor together is actually kind of fun. It's the same thing we just did in the last one, taking Warren and Gainwell, where you're kind of just guaranteeing yourself one backfield forever. All right. Well, how's this team shaping up? We got Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, Trey Benson, James Conner, Jamar Chase, Drake London, Jameson Williams, Jalen Waddle, Harold Fan, and Dalton Kincaid. Kind of a little bit of a mismatch of a team. Don't hate it. Don't love it. Ooh, Matthew says it slaps. I think Matthew's just being nice to me. And hey, flattery will get you everywhere, brother. I think he likely ends up a 1B somewhere, and I don't think he's a bad pick, but I do think Dowdle is better. Yeah. Honestly, I do still kind of believe in Caleb Johnson's talent, but I don't think the Steelers believe in his talent at all. And if the Steelers don't believe in it, then what's the point? Like the Steelers are the team that has to make the determination, and the Steelers have determined uh he sucks. I guess it is an entirely new staff. I don't think it's going to be a new quarterback. I think Rodgers is probably going to return with McCarthy. Imagine if the Bills ever had a decent wide receiver room. I feel like Kincaid has shown sparks when healthy. I mean, he's shown a lot of sparks. I mean, Dalton Kincaid, I think, has legitimately mostly been good when he's been on the field. All right, there we go. I feel like that's late on Bryce Young. Yeah, huge ADP dipperino on Bryce Young. My God, there's like a 30 spot ADP drop on him. That's kind of nice. We'll take that. Nothing like doing a value hound in February. Nothing like just really believing that everything there is that is going to be encompassed in ADP is taken care of now. I will say I am the least ADP sensitive in these drafts. Like I don't care very much about ADP. Like I will be much more of an ADP respecter in June and July. I mean that much I can absolutely promise you. Not that I not that I think you should totally disregard it. All right, we're up. Troy Franklin. What about Calvin Ridley? Calvin Ridley. I mean, Ridley feels like another guy. Like, couldn't Ridley wind up being either one pretty good for the Titans? Oh, I haven't even talked about this yet. I don't think I'm going to do the 8.3% thing this year. I think the big lesson that I learned last season was it's more important to make sure that you balance your stuff early in drafts. Like, I don't want to have like 20% of Justin Jefferson. I'm going to make sure to have like an exposure blanket to all the picks I don't like early. But I am gonna give more. I am gonna be more overweight like later guys. Like I'm gonna be overweight on, whatever. I'm just making stuff up, but like Romeo Dubs or Rashid Shaheed or whatever. I'm not gonna be doing the 8.3% bit this year. So we're no longer an 8.3% guy. I'm gonna take some stands. I'm gonna be drafting some guys. I'm gonna be serious. Smart man. Well, Nova, it's easy to call me a smart man when you have $1 million playing fantasy sports. Easy to tell other people to draft 20% of shitty players when you already have $1 million. Easy indeed. I feel like now is yeah, exactly. Like right now is definitely get your guys season. Like I'm not gonna want to take 1 billion% of Adam Randall. The thing that is such a gift right now, I'm gonna take Zachariah Branch over Trey Tucker. The thing that is that you can tell yourself a story on all these round 18, 19, 20 picks. Dude, when we are in August, these picks are going to suck. I'm fine being 20% on Algier. Yeah, exactly. Right now is like a great time to do Algier. I'm telling myself the Jordan James story. We got into like a 97 message argument in the Discord about Jordan James earlier. Sure. I'll do a little bit of Alec Manor. I'm certainly not taking TJ Hawkinson though. I will have 43% Mike Washington in both time frames. 43% Mike Washington, huh? That's a lot of Mike Washington. Last year, you could get a ton of QJ late when it was pretty obvious he was the wide receiver 2 on the team. Yeah, shout out to Mason. Jordan James nearly tore Slappy Central apart. It's true. It did. It was dark. I mean, look. Here's the deal. What other fantasy football Discord is having impassioned arguments about fantasy football in February? I actually believe this. This is not marketing. This is not me tooting my own horn. I actually think the Slappy Central Discord is the literal best ball Discord. I think it has the best combination of winning players, slappies, but just people who are in every draft. Like I think that the average best ball sicko would be better off having had time spent in there. Like if you're going to be in a best ball Discord, I would certainly say it is the one to be in. Now, if you want to go be in the ETR Discord and like learn more at like what I mean, I'm not in the ETR Discord, but I know I'm sure there are a billion people in there who are talking about stuff all the time. Ooh, I had so much Girendo last year. I honestly think I'm probably gun shy from Girendo. Yeah. Horrible stuff. Brazel not really doing it for me. Can I get Stowers? Oh, all right, another Eli Stowers. Stowers is my Gadsden from last year. I'm just a slappy drafter, baby. Listen to Davis Maddock, baby. That's what they're saying. I mean, the rug pull of them trading for Brian Robinson Jr. and then him getting injured was insane. Like he got rug pulled. He got a running back traded in front of him, and then he hurt his hamstring. Like, that's pretty tough, dude. That's hard to take. Why is Big Best Ball not in on Tyson? I really like Tyson. I assume it's something to do with the injuries though, because it all flows downhill from draft capital. Everything that Big Best Ball is going to tell you flows downhill from whatever his mock draft database is. All right, so Corain still thinks I don't have any tight end points. He actually thinks I'm fine at running back, but the thing is I disagree with him. Ooh, you know what? I have not taken a Jaden Blue in weeks. How about a little Jaden Blue? I feel like it's unfair that Benson gets so many Marshawn Lloyd comparisons. Benson played 13 games as a rookie. Yeah, but did he really play those games? I feel like he barely played those games. He's Mr. Glass to Lemon's Unbreakable. Ooh, if Damon Claiborne sneaks his way into the third round, if the best ball sicko fantasy football community doesn't go insane with him, then I'm gonna jam him left, right, and center. Yeah, Claiborne in my explorations of this year's draft class, he's kind of my Tootin. Or maybe he's more my Jaden Blue, but I'm hoping he's more the Tootin. Not taking any Maffa. Maffa had his chance, but you know, I think Sidekick sharply projects tight ends hitting the flex more often than we think. Could be, or I mean, he's probably just saying my team sucks, but the combine will be big for whether Tyson's medical stuff is a real concern or not. I mean, I feel like if Tyson ends up being the 16th overall pick, the medical red flags will just be gone. Like you can't have any more medical red flags if you're a first round pick. Like I just assume that means he's fine. Renner had Claiborne running back 5. That's pretty bullish. Although I think in this year's case, you could probably say, like, you could have anyone running back 5. It's just not a very deep class. You could have anybody there. Last bigger board dart, how would I rank? Claiborne, Singleton, Randall, Hemby, Washington in that order. Sidekick wants Gesicki. Well, it actually wants Otten, but I like the stack more. Gesicki. Have I ever done an entire draft listing the sidekick? I have. It's fine. I do it sometimes in slow drafts, like honestly on accident. One of the big Tyson injury was a collarbone. Yeah, which is totally random and could happen to anyone. I mean, Travis Kelce ended Xavier Worthy's season in week 1. I believe Malik Davis in Best Ball Mania 3 was my most drafted player, so I'm familiar with Malik Davis's work. All right. Final team. Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, Trey Benson, James Conner, Jaden Blue, Jamar Chase, Drake London, J-Mo, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Zachariah Branch, Alec Manor, Harold Fannin, Dalton Kincaid, Eli Stowers, and Mike Gesicki. All right, boys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Make sure that you like this video. Please, if you watch this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Really helps me out. And I'm trying to grind to, I'd like to get to 15,000 subscribers before the start of the upcoming season. You guys are going to be redirected to my TakeCast episode this week with Pat Mayo. So make sure you guys check that out. And I will be back with you all